Hey y'all, I'm back with another video, and this time I'm going to be discussing multiple TV shows.
Ah, you're big time now.
And the TV shows that I have on the list for today, and this will be a reoccurring series that I'm doing. The shows are All American, Grownish, and there's one more. And Lupin, however you say it. So I'm going to discuss those. As I've stated previously before, I wanted to start doing this a weekly thing where I can discuss the TV shows that are on at the time. So this is that, if you were wondering. This is it. So next week, I will add Sisters, Tyler Perry Sisters to the list. And then Lupin will drop off. So let's get into it. So the first show I'm going to discuss is All American. We have been waiting for All American to come back for a long time. It could just be because, I don't know, it just felt like a long time, or it was actually a long time. I think it was actually a long time. But the first thing that I want to touch upon with All American is, I do not like the fact that they brought this season back and they talking about a whole event that happened in Vegas that we didn't get to see. They didn't show it to us. So it seemed like this whole season, or these first episodes of this season, is going to be like hinting at things that happened over, it was the summer. So I take it this is what happened. Over the summer, they all went to Vegas for a trip and a whole bunch of stuff went down. But they didn't want to show us that on the show. They just wanted to, have us imagine what happened and keep alluding to it. And it's really blowing me because don't just come on here with a new season talking about Vegas and we like, what you mean Vegas? Ain't nobody seen that. So now I'm just in here like, what y'all talking about? But we haven't talked about any of these shows. This video will kind of be like, I'm just gonna let y'all know how I feel about the characters and how I feel about the show overall, and then tell y'all what I felt about that week's episode. With All American, I'm gonna start off with Coop. Coop is always in something, and it was good to see that she was able to go on the tour with JP and Layla's dad, and she had a good time and it was a good turnout. But I'm really upset that now they want to bring some more drama with Tyrone's sister. Tyrone needed to be gone because he was doing the most. But they want to bring his sister in, and they wanted to allude to the fact that she wanted revenge. But now she's saying that she want to come back to help. Like, what? Like, she said that she got Preach out of jail because his first charge was a marijuana charge, which she got them to drop it off because weed is legal. And his other, meaning he not at his third strike no more. So she ended up getting him out of jail. But my thing is, at first you wanted revenge for your brother. Now you trying to fix the hood. I'm confused. I don't trust her. So I don't know what to expect from Tyrone's sister. And I hope that Coop, play it safe. Because she was saying like, girl, I don't trust you. And that's a good route to take, Coop. But then, piggyback off of Coop, Patience. Patience also went on the tour with Coop, Layla, and Layla's dad and JP. And she left the tour early. And my guess is that she left the tour early because she mentioned something along the lines of Layla's dad is not who you think he is, and she said something about it was different for her with JP in the way that they act in the studio and stuff like that. So I think they're alluding to the fact that maybe he had done something to her, like some type of sexual assault, and then they also made her sign a non-disclosure. So I'm also thinking like, yeah, they really must have had done something to her. But the lady, I don't know her name, the girl who plays Patience, she's pregnant in real life. So maybe they're about to write into her storyline that something went down with JP and now she's pregnant. So I think maybe they're about to write that into the show. So that's my guessing with Patience. So I'm gonna also say this. I'm really not a fan of Layla. Well, I'm not a fan of Layla with Spencer. Last season she went through a lot of stuff with her mental health, and she was just pushing everybody away, which most people do when they're having mental health issues. But I just don't like her for him. Like, he tried his hardest to help her and all of this stuff, and I just don't see them together. Who I do see together though is Spencer and Liv. Like, y'all, their chemistry is just literally on point. Like, this whole episode, they alluding to, like, they're both avoiding each other. Well, Liv more so avoiding Spencer than he's avoiding her. They keep talking about, so we're not going to discuss what happened in Vegas and all of this stuff. And I'm just like, what y'all mean what happened in Vegas? And she's always a support for him. He's always a support for her. The chemistry is just A1. And if y'all remember, when the show started, she had a crush on him. But then she thought he was her brother, so she didn't like him no more. But they kind of did end up getting like a brotherly, sisterly bond because they live together and all this stuff. But I sense some romance coming for them. And I'm here for it. All the way here for it. Because I just think they'll be such a good couple. Don't y'all? Don't you think so? I think so. But I also want to talk about Jordan too. Jordan, I don't understand why he's so mad that Spencer is transferring to the other school. Y'all talked about it. Y'all discussed it. Why is it such a big deal? And he hollering. Spencer is trying to tell him, like, I'll always be your brother and all of this and all of that. But I just don't understand why Jordan's so butthurt about it. Y'all had the conversation. Y'all talked about it. There's no point of you being upset about this. Like, you're really overdoing it. And then for them to throw hands, G, they actually threw hands. So y'all fighting each other? Y'all this mad at each other? Come on, it's never that deep. So I feel like they was really doing too much with that scene when they had them fighting each other, and with Jordan trying to be this mad. Like, bro, you cannot be this mad that he transferred schools. I don't understand. Get over it. Another thing that I wanted to talk about that occurred with Jordan was his girlfriend. On this episode, they had it where she had her baby, and nobody knew she was giving the baby up for adoption until she said, like, I gave the baby up for adoption. She didn't hold him, all this stuff. And I just think a different take to show on TV. Like, there are different options when having a child as a teenager. You don't always have to abort. You don't always have to keep it. You can do adoption. And they did a really good job of showing, like, you can give your baby up for adoption for a family that really wants a baby or who was unable to. And I'm glad that they showed us the family that her baby was going to. And I'm glad that her dad was so encouraging and so supportive. Like, when we met her mama last season, her mama was a total B-word. I'm not gonna lie. And for her mama to preach, her mama pretty much made her give this baby up. And she set it up in a way for her to get this baby up. And that was bogus. That was bogus. She shouldn't have did that. I don't rock with her mama. I hope they never show her mama again. I do hope they bring her dad back around because he was a good dude. He was supportive of her. And then another thing, this new principal that they got coming into Crenshaw, he needs to go on. He's trying to punish all the students in his high school because he was bullied as a child when he went there by Billy Baker and Spencer Daddy. Corey. Bro, that had to have been at least 20 years ago. At the least 20 years ago. Why are you still holding this grudge? Why are you trying to make these kids pay for what you went through? And his argument is, no, I'm over the bullying, but the fact that I had to be ripped apart from my family and had to go to boarding school. Like, bro, if you don't grow up, how old are you? And you really gonna try to punish these kids? Goodbye. So that whole storyline with that drama is really gonna blow me because, dude, you're so irrelevant. If you don't go away, please. Now, this is what I'm going to say to wrap up the All-American segment of this video. They know they are dead wrong for leaving us in suspense when ending this episode. What the heck happened in Vegas with Spencer and Liv? Just tell us already. They gon', you really don't want to talk about what happened? And they trying to allude to the fact that like maybe they had sex with each other or something. I don't know. But it could be either way. Either Spencer had sex with Layla in Vegas or he had sex with Liv in Vegas. I don't know. I really do think that Spencer and Liv did hook up in Vegas because in one of the scenes, it seemed like Liv was lying to Layla. Liv lied to Layla about why she wasn't in Vegas. So Layla was under the impression that she was not there, but she clearly was there. And Liv had to remember her lie that she had told her. So what you lying about? Why you wasn't supposed to be there? What had happened? So we gonna find out what had happened coming up this week. Woo. All right, so All American is done. That's my opinions on that first episode and just like how I feel about the characters. Comment below. Let me know what you thought about All American. If I didn't touch upon something that you want to talk about, comment it to me down below. And I'll let you know what I'm thinking. So the next show I want to touch upon is Grownish. Y'all, now, for some reason, I'm obsessed with Grownish because I feel like it's the modern day, a different world. Like, I want it to be that so bad. If you know me, you know that my all-time favorite show in this entire world, in the whole entire world, is A Different World. So, for whatever reason, I want this to be just like that. I want to get the same vibes, the same love for the characters and everything. The only reason I feel like I'm lumping those together is because The Cosby Show was a great show, had a great run. Much so similar to how Blackish is a great show, had a great run, great black family, you know, strong black family, successful. They give me the same vibes. And then they did a spinoff. So on The Cosby Show, Denise went to Hillman, bam, spinoff. And then on Blackish, Zoe went to college, boom, Cal U. So I'm feeling like it's giving me the same vibes because, you know, I get that vibe, like the strong black families, and then the daughters go off to college, there's a little spinoff. So I'm having hopes and prayers that Grownish is my modern day A Different World. So far, I see hints. I'll mention those hints a little later, but I see the hints, I see the comparisons, I see what they're trying to do. A Different World is still my favorite, but Grownish is pretty good. This first episode, though, was a little boring. I ain't gonna lie. I had to go back and restart the whole series to see, like, why was I so in love with the show? Because I was like, Grownish coming back, Grownish coming back, Grownish coming back. And when I watched the episode, and I was like, that's it? What I missed? So I had to go back and remind myself of what had happened. And since I've watched it back, yes, I do see why I like the show. I do see the storyline. I do see the conflict. And since I rewatched it, I seen why this most recent episode, why it had some type of significance. So this show is on Grownish with Zoe. She just dropped out of college. She is a designer. No, she's a stylist for Joey Badass and this other character, other rapper, celebrity person played by Sweetie. So she come back to campus and when the show went off, her and Aaron shared a kiss or whatever, which they always trying to share a kiss or whatever. They shared a kiss, and I guess they hadn't talked since then. And before she got back to campus, she hit him up like, oh, she told him how she felt. Was like, I really want to see you, la la la, all this stuff. He's like, all right, cool, we're gonna hook up. But when he said they was gonna hook up, he had a different meeting. He told her he had a girlfriend. See, now this is where I'm kind of like, oh yeah, they are giving me A Different World vibes because Aaron is Dwayne Wayne and Zoe is Whitley Gilbert. Duh. Zoe, bougie, pampered, spoiled, rich kid. Then we over here have Aaron, deep in debt, so much of a black activist. I mean, he don't really align straight up with Dwayne, but he's the Dwayne of the show, okay? Even though he didn't start off as a loser, he always been a man on campus because he always lead all the black events and all this stuff. I see the similarities, I see the correlation, and I see how they're trying to build that, you know, that back and forth that they had, that Whitley and Dwayne had with playing with each other's feelings, and really were loving each other and wanted to be with each other, but they friendships, like their friendship was up on a higher level, and I see it completely. So when I watched it the first time that I watched it, because I did rewatch the episode, when I watched it the first time, I'm kind of like, this ain't nothing new. Like, of course they gonna make them not be together when we expect them to have them be together. So I was kind of like, I'm disappointed, but I'm looking forward to the next episode. I'm not gonna stop watching Grownish because, you know, like I just said, I really hope and pray that they can give them that same great chemistry that Whitley and Dwayne had on A Different World. I have high hopes for this show. Now, for the other characters in Grownish, I'm interested to see how they're going to incorporate Nomi's baby into the show. I'm really pressed that Doug and Jazz broke up because I really don't understand why they had to break up. Get yourself on the schedule, sis. Y'all can't hang out after a certain time because, you know, you got to be up for track practice. You just got to create boundaries, and I don't think the boundary needed to be that they had to break up, because they leaving us, they trying to chart into dangerous territories, talking about we can wait for each other, just promise you ain't gonna fall in love with nobody else. You can't promise that. He come across somebody who treat him well, got the time for him and all this stuff, he can't help how he gonna feel. So I think they charting into real dangerous territories with this. We gonna take a break and just wait for each other. I think they should just be together and create the boundaries that they need. They can do that. I feel like that's very doable, but of course, for the sake of the show, they want to be very dramatic, and I guess. And as far as the other characters on the show, Luca and Jillian, they're adorbs. For some reason, I really want to hate Jillian because she didn't take Luca from Zoe, but I like Zoe with Luca, but I do want her to be with Aaron. But I want to hate Jillian, but you just can't. Last season, they built it up to show you like she just this really cool chick, and how well her and Zoe get along. You can't help but to love her, and Zoe don't hate her, so why would you hate her? But I want to hate her for the sake, like, Zoe my homegirl, and you're not going to come up in here and be all cute with her man and all of that. But, hey, they all friends now, so whatever it is. And she cool. She cool. So, I guess I'll leave that there. And, yeah. So that's it for Grownish. Right, so lastly, the last show I want to talk about is Lupin or Lupin. I don't know how to say it because it's French, but I want to talk about that show, Lupin. I just put the words up here. And this show tripped me out, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. So the plot of the story is the main character, I think his name is Hassan. He is trying to clear his father's name, pretty much avenge his suicide, to let people know that, you know, he didn't do that. He was being framed and all of this stuff. So he's trying to, you know, clear his father's name. But in the process, he's supposed to be raw as hell at doing disguises. He learned it from this book called Lupin. And Lupin was a master of disguises. He was a brilliant man. He know how to, you know, break into place, rob you, pickpocket you, all this stuff, raw as heck. And Hassan knows how to do all of this from reading the books over and over, and it's like a whole series of them. But what gets me with this show is they don't do a very good job at disguising him. Every single time, he looks like the exact same person. And I'm just like, how do they not know this is him? A blind man can see that this is the same person. And maybe I'm feeling that way because he has distinct features. He's super tall. He's a dark-skinned man. He's black. Anybody gonna notice a black man walking in the door, period. Any shade of black, they gonna notice him. He has like a big nose. He's distinctive. Big eyebrows, big nose, big lips, tall. He's a very distinctive person. So I'm just like, how do y'all not notice him? And even if he do put on some different eyebrows, he still look the same. Because he's just that distinct looking. What I would have hoped for this show, I really wish they had really made his disguise as raw as hell. Like, so as the watcher, you're like, damn, I couldn't even tell that was him. That's how I want it to be. I don't want to have to imagine that they can't tell who he is, because I know they can tell who he is. So I feel like they should have did a better job with that. But hey, that's just my opinion on that. But whatever. I really do like the storyline to this show. I do like the plot. But my whole thing is it really worth it? He wants to clear his father's name, so he gonna commit a crime and steal $1 billion, $1 million necklace. He put himself in jail, faked a suicide. What else he do? He kidnapped the man, broke into this rich man's house with a drone. Like, he committed all of these crimes, and I'm just trying to figure out, he be impersonating people, going up there stealing documents and shit. Like, I'm just like, is all of this worth it once you get caught? Because you're going to go to jail. And what I really like and don't like about what's going on currently with the show is this one detective. I don't know his name. They probably mentioned it, but I don't remember it. It's this one detective who is actually spot on with the investigation, but everybody think he a joke. And I'm like, dude, he right? He's spot on. Y'all tripping. They want to laugh at him, think he a joke, and all of this. And as he's getting closer and closer and closer to cracking the case, and he's noticing that everybody is corrupt and stuff like that, he finally found a sign, and he approached him like, Lupin. And that was at the end of the show. So what I'm hoping is that he actually ended up helping Hassan get Pellegrini, because Pellegrini ain't shit for setting up his daddy. So I really hope that we get this plot twist that the detective is going to actually flip on the whole detective team and help Hassan clear his name, because it's only right. And why would they be leading up to him cracking the case and then him going to find him without the other police officers being involved? I think they are leading us into believing that he is going to help Hassan. And that's what I want. And I'm pissed as fuck that they ended this show off on a cliffhanger just like that. And how they had his son get snatched up by old dude who was trying to beat him up on the train. And I was just like, in my head, I was like, he ain't missing. They ain't gonna have him be missing. That's so, you know, stereotypical, like he goes missing. But they really did get that boy snatched up. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know when the next part is coming out, but it's coming out. So I'm looking forward to that. Whenever that next part of Lupin comes out, I will include it in my weekly video that discusses the new shows of the week. So there you go. That's it, y'all. Let me know if y'all like this segment. They're going to keep coming regardless if you don't like them. But I just want to know if you like them. Comment down below any shows that you think I should watch that you would like for me to do a review on. I do old shows, new shows that are currently on, shows that are new but got canceled, because I did watch LA's Finest with Gabrielle Union, and that was really good. And I heard that it got canceled, but I also heard that it was canceled after the second season, and I haven't seen that season yet. But as always, go ahead and suggest something for me to watch, movie, show, whatever, and subscribe, like. Bye.